you to come if you are able to. To the members of the Kiwanis Club of Kingston, just a reminder that the cluster competition started on the 1st of November. So I hope that you did reach out to your clusters and that you invited them to come to this evening's meeting, because this is the first time that you will be able to earn points. Based on the numbers, I see that we have some work to do. So I'm just reminding you that it is your duty to continue to be your brother's keeper and to work in your clusters to see how best we can get participation up for our meetings. All right, so I'm going to leave my closing remarks there, and I'm going to return to our agenda. And at this time, I will invite Vice President Dr. Andrew Burton to do the welcome and introduction of members and visiting clubs.
Good evening, everyone. Our president has thoroughly welcomed everyone, and I just add to that and will invite those of you who are here representing your different clubs and different groups to unmute and just say hi. I know charging the president is not allowed, unfortunately, so I will have to accept all charges that come to me. He did say May 8th is our project, but of course he meant November 8th this weekend. And he closed his opening remarks saying that he'll leave his closing remarks there, but we know what's going on. So we give thanks for being here. I mean, everybody knows that a week ago at this time, we we're experiencing a lot. Maybe those of us in Kingston, not as much as our brothers and sisters out west. But we give thanks for life, and we give thanks for family and fellowship that we can share here together. Special welcome to those of us, to our two guest speakers, if I can call them that, women who've agreed to share some of their experience, and we'll hear them formally introduced to us shortly for the meeting. But are there any Kiwanians here who are from clubs outside of Jamaica? Anyone here logging in from outside of Jamaica?
Yes, this is Fabulous Camille, and I'm in actually in Orlando, Florida, from
Okay.
the Kiwanis Global Alliance in Orlando.
Okay, welcome, Fabulous Camille. It's great to have you here with us. Thank you for joining us. And we appreciate your support. Anyone else joining us from overseas? No. Any of our, we know there likely are connectivity issues that will limit the amount of visitors that we have from other divisions, but anyone from Division 25 signing in this evening? Anyone from Division 24? No, and we definitely understand. Anybody from, oh, was someone unmuting a while ago to welcome? No. Anybody? Oh, we're probably in preparation for the next one. Anyone from Division 23 East?
Good evening, and
good evening.
through President Zuri, this is DS Bridget from Kiwanis Club of New Kingston. I bring you greetings from President Veronica. There are 4 of us online, including DLG Gerthlin. And we are so happy and grateful to be here. We thank you for the invitation. We know that many of us are still in pain, and will be for some time to come, but we appreciate the invitation and the camaraderie and look forward to an interesting evening. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you so much, DS Bridget, for joining us, you and your delegation. Any other clubs from Division 23 East? who are here with us this evening. Anyone from Division 23 West?
Hi, good evening, fellow Kiwanians, special guests. Bringing greetings from the Kiwani School of Portmore. There are 4 of us on with you this evening to look at a somber topic. Thanks for the invitation.
All right. Welcome. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. Any other clubs from Division 23 West? Okay. Bringing it home. 23 Central. Can the other clubs identify themselves?
Hi, good night, everyone. Good night. This is President Lashon from the Kiwanis Club of 23 Central Story Online. So far, I have 2 persons here online in your meeting, myself and IPP URDC. Thank you so very much for the invite, and please do enjoy the rest of your evening. Hi, President Zuri.
Man, the classmates nice to each other. Eh? Welcome, President Lashon. We are always happy to have you guys at our meetings, and welcome. We we'd like to make special mention of our, well, he's not a member outside of our club, but he is a gentleman of the Kiwanis Club of Kingston, but joining us from overseas, DP Paul. Welcome. Always good to have you on our meetings. And one of our newest inductees, Sir Burton family. Welcome, Sir Kiwani and Jervin, to the meeting, and my other brothers of the Kiwanis Club of Kingston. We have a few swans I see in the meeting. President Ramona, I want to introduce your delegation, and any other SLPs that are on the chat, please identify yourselves. And
Hi, good afternoon.
hi, Ramona.
I am Ramona Reed. I'm the president of the St. Eustace Group Girl Tea Club. I want to thank you for inviting me to this gathering tonight. Hi, President Zuri. Hi, Uncle Andrew, and hi, Mr. Yusun. So far, it's only 3 of us on here tonight, my second vice president and my assistant treasurer.
Okay. Welcome, Ramona. Thank you for joining us. You know, President Zuri, I kind of like Uncle Andrew to Dr. Andrew. Consider that in the future for my title. Any guests of Kiwanians that are with us in the meeting? Any guests of Kiwanians or guests of the guest speakers who may be joining us? Any non-Kiwanians who have just decided to fellowship? No. Okay, thank you. And everybody, glad that we could make it. We're 29 strong. And we expect others to sign in as they're able. I hand back over to President Zuri to continue the meeting.
Thank you, VP Uncle Andrew. Right, so I have no apologies for absence, but I'll ask Dale G. Willie. Dale G. Willie, did you receive any apologies for absence?
No, I have not, President Zuri.
Okay. All right, so there being no apologies for absence, we move to recognition of birthdays. And again, I will invite President-elect, our senior Sawyers, to come and do our recognition of birthdays and anniversaries.
Good evening again, everyone. So we do have some special birthdays and anniversaries coming up this week. And of course, this is the part of the program where we'd like to take a moment just to recognize these persons. Let me just remember this. All right, so first up, we have 2 birthdays on the 6th for Yvonne, wife of Kiwanian Harold Anderson, and Dorothy, who's the wife of Kiwanian Patrick Barnes. So both will be celebrating their birthday on the 6th. So happy birthday to you both when it comes. Then on the 9th, we have an anniversary for honorary Kiwanian Michael Forbes and his wife Miriam. All right, so that's all for the membership. So now if there's anyone else on the call who has a special day coming up this week, whether it's a birthday or anniversary or any other special day, feel free to open your mics and share with us. Anyone with a special day this week? Okay, if there is no one, I'll hand back over to you, President Zuri.
Thank you, PE. I see that we have advisor Alice Douglas from the Dunoon Park Technical High School on with us, and she's bringing us greetings from the Dunoon Park Key Club. Welcome, Kiwanian. Welcome. Thanks for joining us. So I'm just pointing that out, that giving you a special welcome. But I was warned that there is someone who is having a special anniversary this week. It's kind of a different type of anniversary, not quite birthday or wedding, but it is the anniversary of his call to his profession. So VP, and I'm going to call you doctor this time, VP Dr. Andrew Burton. I was told that this week you celebrate your anniversary of becoming a doctor. So happy anniversary to you, sir. Right, and we wish you many more years in the profession, many more years of service and healing. Right, so this is a very important part of our meeting, where we will find out more about this movement that we love so dear and serve as a part of. So I'll now hand over to Dale G. Willie for Kiwanis Education.
Thank you, President Zuri. I must first of all apologize for lateness of DLG Desmond Bachelor, who is going to speak to us this evening. But in this place, I'm going to talk to you about admission to membership and resignation. At this time of the year, this is very timely. I'm taking this from Article 4 of the Standard Form for Club Bylaws. It says, Section 1, prospective active members shall be considered for election to membership by invitation only, or by transfer from an active Kiwanis club under the following procedures. Each proposal for membership shall be submitted by a member of this club to the secretary or the committee on membership growth and education, which proposal shall bear the signature of the proposer and the endorsement of at least one additional club member, both of whom shall be members in good standing. B, all proposals for membership shall be submitted by the board of directors for consideration. C, each proposal for transfer may be submitted by a member of an active Kiwanis club directly to the board of directors for the purpose of changing club membership. Transfers must be requested within 6 months of discontinuing active attendance in the original club. D, at a meeting of the board of directors at which a quorum is present, members shall be elected and transfers accepted by a majority vote of those present. And E, upon favorable action by the board of directors, the new and transferred members shall be notified personally concerning the action of the board, and the membership induction fees shall be secured. The official admission to club membership shall be the date the foregoing requirements are completed, and that date shall be reported to Kiwanis International. Section T goes on to talk about only members shall be elected by a majority vote of the entire board of directors. And lastly, Section 3, a member may resign from this club provided that such member indebtedness to the club has been paid. The resignation shall be submitted in writing to the board of directors and shall become effective when accepted by the board. Such individuals shall forfeit all interest in any funds or other property belonging to the club and all rights in the use of the Kiwanis name, emblems, insignia, or other Kiwanis marks. That's your Kiwanis education for this evening. I trust that we have learned or recall some of that information we previously known for years. Thank you, President Zuri.
No, thank you, dear G. Willie. And again, I'm going to say, I'm going to ask persons to try to see if you could find out at least one new thing or remind yourself of at least one thing about Kiwanis International. If you can't do it daily, at least per week. All right? And now we are at this evening's main event. And to introduce the main event to us and the stars of the main event, I'll now invite DP Stuart Spencer to do the introduction of our guests.
Yes, President Zuri, 1 second, please. Okay, just testing. Everybody hearing me okay?
Yes, we can.
Hearing you well.
Fellow Kiwanis and guests, I have something to say before I introduce our guest. We're down to one. You saw two people listed on the flyer, but one is still having internet access issues. And not surprisingly, it's in St. Elizabeth. So that is DS Christine. So she's not going to be able to make it tonight. But we have with us this other person who I think you're gonna find her extremely or very interesting. There's a little story about how I happened to invite her. But let me do it another way, because she's a person of many talents, as I've discovered. She's a singer. She's also a model. I don't know if she's still doing modeling, but she has done modeling even in Europe. But what struck me when I first saw her, she did a reel on Instagram, and I found it so to the point in terms of the way she communicated what she said, that I think I'm just gonna have to play it for you. And that will be really my introduction. Just give me a second. I have to go back to sharing, to taking position of the screen again. 1 second.
Makeup, what you see on videos and pictures,
I want to get it exactly from the beginning. I don't have the bar, I don't have access to the bar to get it exactly at the beginning. So just bear with me. I have to play it from the beginning.
and a roof, or not have something, but they interested in got to.
Oh.
Somebody who face way more damage than them.
This is the only way I can do it.
Right at the end. Right at the end.
I am not a girly girl. Never have been, never will be. Tough like rock, rough like sandpaper, and that's fine. I'm always mentally prepared to deal with anything. However, I was not mentally prepared to deal with Melissa nor the aftermath of Melissa. Okay, I stood and I watched Melissa pass on the veranda.
Too
And
fast.
I went outside after Melissa, and what I saw would mess with anybody's mental state. There, what is it? Everybody outside of Western Jamaica, what you see on videos and pictures is nothing compared to seeing it in person. To wake up and going outside to what used to be a road, to it being nothing, to where homes used to be, homes of people where you grew with and love and care for, and there's nothing there. It is heartbreaking to witness. There, and then I have to big up my baritone folks them, and look at people them. Before the sun rise, everybody outside with a machete in them hand and chainsaw, and they're clearing the way. The road to your first before they even go in the yard and tend to one tree. They're outside. And I big up to the special people them who fill them house and a roof. Or not have something but they interested in go to somebody who face way more damage than them and they help. Like, I've never been so proud to be a Jamaican. That, like, witnessing the togetherness, the selflessness, and me see in the little part of St. James, that when we come from little part and Barrington, yo, big up to you. And I must say, our inability to take anything serious, it really is a good thing and a bad thing sometimes, because when you walk past everybody and they say, yo, nah, no roofing, but it could have worse. At least we have life. We can build back. And they say, well, no cost life, no cost nothing, or something like that. I am so proud of my fellow Jamaicans. If we look at people then, we look about with Talawa. We got this. And my advice to anybody outside of Jamaica, Western Jamaica or outside of Jamaica, don't take it lightly. Help if you can. Reach out to who you can. We need the help.
Okay, fellow Kiwanis and guests, the lady you just heard is Ashane Rose, and she's gonna be speaking to us tonight about, well, you know what it's gonna be about. So just give her a welcome for me, and let me get this off the screen. Ashane, over to you.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.
First,
Good night.
I want to thank the Kiwanis Club of Kingston and Mr. Stewart, Mr. Spencer, for inviting me tonight. Growing up,
So I'm not
I
here.
heard
Oh, I
about the
know I wasn't
Kiwanis.
hearing. Go ahead. Sorry.
Okay. Yes, I was saying that growing up, I always heard about the Kiwanis Club, but I never really understood what it was about until I became friends with a member from Trelawney. And, you know, it's about the commitment and the service to community and compassion. And I hope that after tonight's meeting here, we can continue to nurture a meaningful relationship, because what the Kiwanis Club stands for is pretty much everything that I stand for. So to properly introduce myself, my name is Ashane Rose. I'm originally from Lilliput, St. James, but I've been living in Trelawney for more than half my life. So both parishes hold a special place in my heart. Professionally, I'm a customer service professional with over 10 years of experience in the hospitality industry, and I also own a small business I operate. And beyond work, I do pride myself on being an honest and authentic person. I believe you are your best self when you stay true to your core values. Now, I was invited to speak about understanding the real impact of Hurricane Melissa. But before I do that and speak about the communities that were affected, I just want to paint a picture of the places that shaped me. Lilliput and Barrytown are vibrant communities, full of life. They're full of good people. You know, you have the good and the bad everywhere. But what stands out to me about both areas is a sense of togetherness. Also, a majority of Barrytown is my family, and it's a couple of us out by Lilliput. So it's like home. No, breadfruit is a key to my heart and my stomach, and almost every
house or every yard in a Lilliput and Barrington have a breadfruit tree. And you don't ever have to worry about asking somebody for one or two. You can always find somebody ready to share. And it's one of those things that people, we always hear people talk about Jamaicans in a negative life. Oh, we're bad man and we this and we that. But growing up, there was a little bit of that, but there was also togetherness. And I grew up in that in Lilliput. And time I spent in Barrington. Where I live now in Trelawney, it is a much calmer place. It's a housing scheme, and coming out of, that vibrant environment to something calmer, it wasn't an easy transition, but I learned to appreciate it. And I needed the balance, between both worlds. I relocated to Falmouth in 2004, long before the pier was built and when Bendong was Bendong and the market was still buzzing. Falmouth was quiet and everybody that lived there cherished its history, but they embraced the change. They welcomed the pier with open arms and they embraced everything. Now, during the hurricane, I stayed at my uncle's Airbnb in Barrington. He's in Georgia and he insisted I stay there because he didn't trust my home. And I truly appreciate his concern because sometimes people just think about themselves. But he was in a different country worrying about me. And, my family and I, we stood on the veranda and we watched as the storm passed. And the entire time I couldn't help but think about my friends and my family and, some of the structures that I knew wouldn't hold up during the storm. But, I hope and I prayed that they were safe, and thankfully, most of them were. They just, they lost houses, but we were working together to rebuild. Now, mental health is very important to me. So I try to maintain a positive mindset even in hard times. I don't know. This experience shook me. Like, it shook me deeply. And walking through Barrington after the hurricane, it felt surreal. Like, it's like stepping into a movie scene. The destruction was unimaginable. And I realized that I was not emotionally prepared for any of it. For days, I felt depressed. I went back home to Trelawney and it was just as bad. And I would wake up and I would be just staring through the window. I had to fight myself to get up and go out and look at the like looking at the damage. I felt helpless. Like, it didn't matter how much I wanted to help. I would never be able to help how I want to. And not only are many people left homeless, but people are going to be jobless now. The hospitality industry is one of Jamaica's main source of employment. It's at a complete standstill, and none of us know when we'll be able to return to work. Lives have been lost. People are still missing. The magnitude of this disaster is far greater than most people realize. It's not just that a hurricane came and went. It's a tragedy, and it has dismantled an entire county, and it left scars that are physical, emotional, and mental. And I genuinely I left. I went to Kingston to spend some time with family, and trust me, going to Kingston angered me at first, and I shared that in another of my videos. And it wasn't because of what happened, but because of how unaffected some people seem to be. It was as if reality of what we were facing down this side didn't matter. And that to me is a part of the real impact, the emotional and psychological disconnect that disasters like this leave behind, not just for those who suffer it physically, but for the society that should rally around them. What Melissa taught me is that it is not just the physical damage, it's the invisible emotional toll. It's the fear that stays, the uncertainty about, what's going to happen tomorrow, the next day. And there's a lot of grief, you have to start over. Some people just got to a point where they're okay. I know they have to start over from scratch. But, it to me, it revealed something that was even stronger, the resilience of Jamaican, the heart of us, We always talk about it, you know, growing up, we look about with Talawa and we got this, and but seeing it in real time, seeing it when it actually matters, that that is what held me from depression. Like as I stated in my video, in the midst of chaos, I saw neighbors helping neighbors, strangers helping people, and communities were working together, piece by piece. You know, to me, that is the real Jamaica. Like we don't stay down. We find laughter in the storm. We find faith in the rubble. And like I said, people were saying, we have life. You know, it could have worse. One man sat at a shop. I just went to see my mom. He's like, boy, me baby, nah, nothing left. We mash up bad, but you know me all right, come there. And I'm like, that is what makes us, you know? And I feel like we must remember that rebuilding goes far beyond fixing houses and cleaning roads. It means rebuilding our minds, rebuilding our spirits and hope, because it's gonna take a while to heal. And as we continue to heal, I don't think we should forget those who are still struggling silently. We have to reach out, we have to listen, we have to support one another, because sometimes just knowing that someone cares about you is what makes a difference. I went to see my nephew today in Norwood. And when I went there first, he wasn't there, and I went back. I saw him. I said, "You can't stay here." And he just burst into tears. He hugged me and he burst into tears. And I'm like, he has me to be able to, you know, let it all go. And there's so many people around us right now that don't have a shoulder to lean on or anybody to talk to. So I feel like that is what we should focus on. I mean, we should focus on everything, you know, rebuilding our communities, rebuilding our roads, our homes. But we have to try to reach everybody mentally. We have to care for them, nurture them, bring them back to a place where they are able to stand firm, not just a facade where they say, "Oh yeah, man, I'm a good man," but to truly be there for each other, because it is not just another Gilbert or another Ivan or another Charlie. This one devastated us. And that concludes, you know, the message for me. And I want to thank Kiwanis Club again for giving me this platform to come and share how I feel. And continue to tell you guys, continue to do the work that you're doing across Jamaica. I feel like Kiwanis should be way more recognized. Because together, if we continue to serve with love and unity, not just on an individual level, but as an organization, we can rebuild not just the structures that have fallen, but the lives of many that, you know, have been broken due to Hurricane Melissa. So thank you again for having me here. And I also want to say that I too have signal issues. I actually drove into St. James, parked outside of the convention center. So if you see me cut off, it is not me just leaving, it is my battery dying, because I have about 10% now. But thank you very much for inviting me. I hope that we get to work together more.
Okay, Ashane, thank you very much. There might be some people in the audience who might want to ask a few questions.
Except that DP Stewart, she said she hardly had much time.
Right.
It may be more important for me to thank her since you asked me to. And if she still has battery when people are asking questions, that will have achieved a great part.
That's a good point.
So I will rush into it, Ashane. I am Earl Spencer. That's my brother you're speaking to before. And we have good relations with Falmouth. He did primary school there because those days, prep school, you couldn't get scholarship if you were, too many few spaces. And he lived in Falmouth. We live right in front of Falmouth Parish Church for a while. So you know exactly where. And we have that heartfelt connection. You lived in Barrytown and you were in Falmouth recently. And what you have said, I actually saw your little video before, and I was delighted to hear the aspect that you concentrated on, which is what has been mentioned by some of the people in power, that the mind is going to have to be dealt with. So when people are talking about, you must stop the education because such and such, I don't think they meant that at all. Whichever schools can go on, you must encourage those. But when you mention the part about the cousin or the little friend who started to cry after you asked him, I understood fully. And we should really reach out. St. Elizabeth and Westmoreland, Hanover, the whole county, as you said, plus other parts. They have people who are suffering quietly, and they could go bonkers, to just use a quick word. So we thank you for your address to us, and we wish you all the best in your own endeavors, and keep on thinking of others. You did say you are doing you're doing like Kiwanis.
Yes.
And it's a pity you didn't know that Kiwanis was really popular from 1964, or I forget the year, but we have been around. And
I know, not to cut you, but I do know at the bus stop in Falmouth before you get to the hospital, there used to be a big Kiwanis Club logo there,
yes,
like the crest.
right.
I've always known of the club,
Yes.
but it wasn't until I become an adult that I knew what the
Yes.
club stood for. But
Right.
I mean, maybe I should have, cried a little more and joined back then.
Yes,
But it's
but
never
it's
too
not
late
too
for a
late.
shower,
Oh
right?
no, you're a young lady, man. You're talking to some old guys here. Mark, I'm very happy about the profile that the club is taking now. Quite a few young people. People like me are fading out, and some
No, you're not fading
others.
out. You are the foundation. You are the foundation, and before
Speak for
you
All
finish,
right.
we'll have to.
No, you don't thank me. I'm thanking you. You may make me blush. Thank you very much for your address tonight, and you will get a certificate of appreciation. If DP Stewart doesn't get a chance to show it to you, when you get it, we know what you're getting, and we thank you very much for making it. There it is, and you put it on your
Oh, thank
wall
you.
when you receive it. On behalf of the club, on behalf of Kiwanis Club of Kingston, we thank you, Ashane Rose. A nice name. And a rose for, well, I'm not supposed to lose my words, but I have to practice it for so many years. But thank you very much on behalf of the club.
You're most welcome. You're most welcome.
Thank you.
Earl, you didn't tell her that I was born in Falmouth. You
Oh
forgot
yes,
that.
you're born in Falmouth. I must share this one. The morning he was born, my mother told me that a lady next door, she kept sweeping her yard. And as he was born and he gave the baby cry, sweeping stopped and the whole town knew that he was born.
So he came out screaming.
Yeah, he came out screaming, but that's not why they knew. The lady dropped her broom now because she knew he born, and she went up by the market and thing, and then she told everybody, Miss Spencer, baby born. Yeah, man, we have had some good memories down there.
Yes.
Good.
Okay, let me just get in one thing now, Earl. Thank you very much. But
You're welcome.
in terms of the type of help that you think people would need as a priority, I know they need to fix their roof, but I mean, what do you think comes first?
Well, you see, for different areas, I think different things come first.
Yes,
definitely for St. Elizabeth, we have to the roads and electricity, then the rebuilding of the homes. And I personally locate people. Unfortunately, We have heard and seen where people are being robbed during all of this happening. And
Maybe that's your battery. You're fading. Not hearing you, so I don't know if that's your
Are
battery.
you hearing me?
We're hearing you now. We just heard you a while ago, but we had lost you before.
Oh, okay. I was saying that one of the first things that we need to work on is relocating people, because people are being, assaulted and robbed in the middle of the thing. So for those persons in certain areas that don't have, like a and then for areas in Trelawney, where I'm from, help with repairing of the roofs, because a lot of people have tarpaulins on their roofs. But I feel like we have to touch areas first to see what is more critical and much worse. So we have to assess each area, and then we will know what first to do. But I feel like relocating people, getting them to a safe place first, and then everything else.
Yeah, I've heard
Still
people.
hearing me?
Yeah, we're hearing you now. Yeah, I've heard people talk about relocation or persons to move them out of the area, and that is an important aspect. Somehow I hadn't thought of it that way, but I accept that is part of the solution. Yes, very important. Okay, if anybody wants to get in a quick question, if there is, before she is totally out of power.
All right, DP Stewart.
Yes.
If I may, because
Sure.
I thought the name looked familiar, and then I saw the face, and I thought the face looked familiar as well. So Ashane, I just want to ask you used to model for Saint International?
Well, what the answer?
Is she there?
I know the answer, but maybe she's off.
Because that would mean that we've worked together before.
So you were modeling, or you were an administrator?
No. We were helping backstage. We were helping backstage. But that time you had no hair. That time you had no hair. So seeing you with hair though is very different.
She used to model with that.
That time you had no hair. You did that show
and
Royal. That was with Francois and that team that volunteered that year.
Oh my God! Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Small world. And you know,
this is
it was
lovely.
a long time.
Yep, a very long time ago.
Yeah, I had done some research on her.
So my battery just alerted that I'm at 5%. Oh.
And one of the things I'm going to do for the rest of you guys is I'm going to play 2 songs that I found on YouTube that are done by Ashane.
Wow.
Yeah. But we play music when the meeting is finished. But I'll have those lined up to play.
All right.
So we'll do that. Okay, back to you, Prez.
All right. Thank you, DP. Stewart, thank you so much, Ashane, if you're still hearing. Thank you so much for joining. And it was indeed a pleasure and eye-opening, because there are some aspects of this devastation, trauma that people are facing that probably never readily came to mind, like that relocating, that probably we never looked at before. So thank you for that perspective. And it was indeed our pleasure to have you. And I'm sure through DP Stewart, we will find a way to reach out and connect to see how we can help further.
Yes, sure.
All right.
Thank you all very much for having
me. All right. So Sergeant at Arms and DP Earl Spencer, I was told that you are stepping in this evening and that you will be the man in charge. So over to you, Sarge. You're muted, DP. We're not hearing you.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so sorry. I said you're fortunate in a way that I was asked earlier for tonight, because you remember I only did it for October, although I was robbed of one. Did you have a meeting last Tuesday?
No, we did not.
No, you see?
No, we didn't.
Good. I'm going to have to charge Secretary Willie and everybody else, because my birthday was the 30th of October. So the Tuesday, the 20th, when you're all thinking about Melissa, I had a chance to remember my birthday when I stayed over on the 30th. But nobody mentioned last week's birthday people this week, and that's what I'm going to find. So David Hall and myself share the same birthday. Good thing members actually remembered and they sent greetings to us on the WhatsApp. So I don't feel too badly, but we usually bring them in as I just called. So everybody going to get fined for not, especially the secretary. Then the VP was very sharp tonight because he spotted the two things that I noticed. But you did a third, but because the amount of times you said before God, at first I was wondering if you're thinking about us before him. So, but you said it so often that I realized that it was just the structure of a sentence. So I don't penalize you for that. You said it very often, And then I say, oh yes, he don't mean that he putting us before God. He meant placing us in front of God. Yeah, but VP Andrew, I can't call you Uncle Andrew. I'm 82. So anyway, what I will do is, have we sorted out how we collect the money again? But even if you haven't, let everybody's conscience drop in $300 in the kitty. I have a story for you. And since I'm at the age I am, all my jokes are old. But this is not a joke, it's a story. It was an Irish pub, and they have this toast of the week. Am I being heard?
Yes, yes.
Good.
Yeah, man, we're hearing you.
Good. And they had a toast of the week. And the winner, this was his toast. Here's to me spending the rest of my life between the legs of my wife. And he won. When he went home, he said, Mary, I won the toast of the week. And it was about you. She said, hey, so what did you say? He said, here's to me spending the rest of my life on a church bench beside my wife. She said, oh, not bad. But the next day now, she brought up the guy who he beat and was very disappointed that he didn't win. He said, Mary, your John, he won the toast last night. He says, but I was very surprised because he only went there twice. And the first time he fell asleep, and the second time I had to pull him by his ears so he could come. That's the story. I hope I didn't lose any part of it. But, and I must tell you, it was a Kiwanis International that I heard it at. Willie would remind me of the place because I forget the name. It's a hard name to call.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
In Canada.
Yeah, man, up in Canada.
Yes, yes.
And boy, it was, but that's the first place, that's where I heard it. And that's many years ago, over 15 years ago. So I tell you, only old stories I have. But so this is my bit for tonight, President Zuri.
Thank you, DP Earl. And because you gave us an extra evening of Sarge duties, I will not charge you for that Irish accent.
I tried. Okay.
Thank you. Now, notices and announcements and interclubbing opportunities, and to bring those to us, I'll turn over to Secretary Dale G. Willie.
Thank you very much, President Zuri. Members, remember this date. Save the date. Saturday, December the 6th, at the Pegasus Hotel at 8 p.m. is our annual Grand Christmas Charity Ball. Tickets are now available. Tickets are now in circulation. If you need tickets, the cost is $20,000, same price as last year. DP Marcel Boyce has tickets, or myself. You can contact any one of us. There's also contract for ads. Any of those you can get some ads for the magazine. Our target is 80 ads this year. Hopefully we can achieve that because we want to surpass the surplus that we made last year, which was just under 1.5 million. But the good news for the members is that we got back a GCT rebate on the services and goods provided by the hotel, totaling just over $200,000. So we did very well last year. We hope to do just as good. So we all hands to the deck now in terms of ads and tickets. That's the Christmas Ball, December 6th, Pegasus Hotel, 8 p.m. Just another announcement that in regards to Christmas Ball, there will be a Christmas Ball Planning Committee meeting on Thursday, November the 6th at 6 p.m. The venue to be announced, and I'm sure by tomorrow, DP Marcel Boyce will be able to inform us of that. And so far as interclubbing opportunities, there's a Mass Interclub tomorrow, which has to do with the youth protection guidelines. I will circulate that as well. If we can make an interclub, it'd be a good opportunity to get some well-needed interclubs for the month of November. But that I will circulate in the morning. To those of you who would like to, our club coach, DP Beverly Thompson, will be presenting on youth protection guidelines. Thank you, President Zuri. That's all for now.
Thank you, Dale G. Willie. And I see that she's on and she has her hand raised. So I'm going to give her an opportunity.
Yeah, how are you doing, Deep? President, how are you doing? Good?
I'm good, thanks you.
And all members of the club and online, good evening. I just wanted to ask, DG Willie, who is the band playing for the ball? Which band it is?
Fab Five.
Oh, it's Fab Five. Why
Fab
I thought
Five,
I heard it was Bare Essentials. So it's Fab Five.
No,
okay.
It's Fab Five, yes.
All right, thank you.
Frankie Campbell confirmed he'll be there. You know,
okay.
He was sick a few
right,
weeks ago.
yeah. Okay, fine. Thank you.
You're welcome. Are there any clubs on who would like the opportunity to share about interclubbing or any event that they are having? I'm going to give you an opportunity now to do so. Going once.
Of course, President George, this week we're observing as Kids Club Week.
Good evening, President Zuri.
Good evening, Past Director Crystal.
Can you hear me? See if my connection is bad.
Class Director, can you hear us?
Can anyone hear me? My connection is pretty bad. I'm actually on the road.
We can hear you.
Just to connect to the meeting because the connectivity, although I live right across from Racket Club, I live right near Area 1 headquarters, but the connection is really bad. So I'm out on the road trying to connect. So I want to say a big thank you to all the members of the Kiwanis Club of Kingston for reaching out to me. A lot of persons try to text me or call me direct. If you try calling me direct, that's a no-no because the signal have not been up perfect as yet. So even up until now. So thank you all, and I really appreciate the messages and the empathy. Much appreciated. If you can hear me, because my connection is still bad. Thank you.
We can hear you.
We heard you fine. We heard you fine.
We can hear you, and we appreciate you. We really do appreciate you as well. All right.
President Zuri?
Yes,
Zuri,
yes,
I
dear.
would be remiss if I not remind the members that this week is Key Club Week. There are a number of Key Clubbers on, including President Ramona from St. Jude's Key Club. Their rally, which they hold every year, will be held on Friday now. I believe it's 3 o'clock, St. George's College Auditorium. So I would circulate the notice in the morning as well regarding that.
Thank you, Deirdre. And I see that President Ramona, you could go ahead.
Okay, I'm just informing you that the rally has been postponed, but they're having an online one. So I could share the link if you guys want.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Please share it with
Please,
us.
President Ramona, please.
No problem.
All right, thank you.
It's still Friday at 3 o'clock.
So I'm going to again extend the opportunity to any other club that is on if you wish to tell us about any upcoming event that you're having. We went once, so now we're going twice.
President Zuri.
Yes, President Eddie.
How you doing?
I'm all right, thanks.
Guys, I hope you guys holding up good down there.
On this side of the island, most of us are.
All right, thanks. Thanks. We are, Global Alliance is still planning to come down to Jamaica. We're still looking at the medical fair in Trenchtown, but we've expanded our reach because of the disaster, and we are bringing supplies as much as we can fit in a 20-foot trailer. So if we get more than that, we'll extend it to a 40-foot. But we'll see what's going on. For those your members who have family and friends in Fort Lauderdale and Orlando area, we are shipping from up here. We have collection points for supplies in Orlando at the clubhouse of the Kiwanis Club of South Orlando, 1940 Conway Gardens Road in Orlando. We're collecting supplies there. And we are collecting supplies in Fort Lauderdale at the Sunrise Rehabilitation Center on Nob Hill Road. So if your friends and family in Florida have things they want to send down to Kiwanis and donate, we're accepting. We'll be shipping hopefully next week. We'll be packing and shipping off.
Can I ask if the deadline is next week?
Yes.
The deadline is definitely next week. Okay.
Yes, because we need to pack the trailer and get it shipped off by next weekend.
Oh, why I asked is because I know somebody's having a function on the 30th, and that is a part of the function where they will be asking persons to bring stuff to the function, but that's November 30. And they were looking for somebody to, some organization to ship. You know, I don't know if you're going to have a second shipment. No.
No,
All right. So yeah.
we will be in Jamaica because our installation is still on the 22nd of November.
That's still on.
It's still
Okay.
on Four Seasons Hotel. So the medical affair is 21st, and the installation is 22nd. And then we'll spend the next couple of days doing humanitarian response. We're bringing a whole lot of supplies, a lot different stuff. Not only food items, but medical supplies, building supplies, everything.
President, remember, if you're bringing equipment and things like that, you may need the Kiwanis Foundation of Jamaica to assist you because they can be able to clear things for you.
Thank you. We have taken care of them. Remember, we're also non-profit here, so we are registered, fully registered in Florida as a non-profit, and we have we can get stuff in.
Great.
All right. Thank you for the time. I hope to see you all down there. Thank you, President Zuri.
You're welcome, and looking forward to seeing you too.
All right. Thanks.
All right. So I am not seeing DP Marcel on for our thought for the week, but what I will do instead is just ask you to just remember your brothers and sisters, keep them in your thoughts, especially those Jamaicans in Central Jamaica, Western Jamaica, who are right now going through a very devastating time. I ask that you try to see if you can make any form of donation, any form of contribution, even if it is to whisper a prayer on their behalf. So that's my thought for this week, is to bear your brothers and sisters in your thoughts. And I invite us now to raise, whether literal, figurative, glasses in a toast to Kiwanis International and to Jamaica, land we love. This meeting of the Kiwanis Club of Kingston is now terminated at 8:18 p.m. Thank you all so much for being with us this week.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All right, give me a second and I'm going to play that song for you guys.